Hello everyone, I am Marco Battista, the COO of AIVERSE. Today, we're going to talk about our new amazing project, the first dual chain network built exclusively for the metaverse. But first of all, what is the metaverse? I'm sure you heard a lot of talking about the metaverse, a term that has recently risen in popularity, especially since Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced back in October that he's betting his empire future on the new surround yourself technology known as the metaverse. Since then, there has been a lot of hype for all metaverse related projects that has created even more confusion around the already controversial definition of the metaverse itself. To understand what the metaverse is, we should first clarify what it's not. It is not a virtual world like the many ones developed by the gaming industry in the past decades. And if certainly will involve some games and game-like goals, it is not itself a game. It is not VR. While VR technology will be crucial to access the metaverse, considering the two terms the same thing would be like saying that you have a thriving city just because you can see it through a nice pair of sunglasses. Last but not least, the metaverse is definitely not Facebook's newest project or any company's product. Even though for sure there are dozens, if not hundreds of successful projects already experimenting their own version of the metaverse, at AIVERSE we believe that there is still a big room for improvement, especially if we consider the role of the VR technology will have in the future of the metaverse. In fact, if on one side we have tech giants such as Microsoft, Meta, aka Facebook, already working on making the hardware available for everyone, us as blockchain developers, we have to consider the fact that a blockchain-based metaverse built on VR will add even more concurrent computing requirements to the already high-demanding ones of the blockchain networks. That brings us back to the impossible triangle, the infamous dilemma that argues that blockchain systems cannot simultaneously combine decentralization, scalability, and security. These are the grounds our project, the AIVERSE, stands on. To make sure that our solution could really represent the cornerstone for future metaverse implementations, we worked mainly on three aspects. Our first focus was to build a strong, decentralized and scalable network to support the complexity of the metaverse. Second, we worked on two powerful 3D generating engines to provide tools for future users and developers to easily express their creativity. Third, we organized our tokenomics to make sure to deliver a stable and safe economy to the metaverse. In this video, we will focus on the blockchain architecture. Let's have a look. Our blockchain is organized as a decentralized dual chain network, which is both high-performing and developer-friendly. We make sure to achieve high performance in different ways. First of all, our two chains, the E chain and the C chain, will play different roles. The C chain will be responsible for transaction and execution of EVM-compatible smart contracts, while the E chain will focus on more complex smart contracts that are native to the blockchain network and require a higher network performance. The smart contracts on the E chain will be able to call the smart contracts of the C chain, which means that the developer does not need to rewrite all his code on the E chain. He just needs to adapt his smart contract to the higher security requirements on the E chain. We're going to talk about that in a minute. This will allow for effective resource isolation, and it gives us the opportunity to have two different consensus algorithms for the different goals of the two chains. In fact, on the C chain, we will use the APOS consensus, which stands for AIVERSE Proof of Stake, a revised version of the notorious POS. That is to ensure speed, security, and decentralization on the C chain. On the other hand, the E chain will work under the PBFT consensus. As some of you might know, while being very secure, the problem with PBFT is that its performance degrades when too many nodes are added in the network due to the increasing number of messages needed to achieve consensus. We solve this scalability issue in two ways. First, through sharding, which basically means dividing the nodes in smaller task-specific groups called shards to reduce the amount of transactions every node needs to verify. Second, through a new transaction architecture. You see, most of existing smart contracts on blockchain platforms nowadays follow an order execution architecture. Because all transactions are executed sequentially by all nodes, performance and scalability are limited. The e-chain introduces an execute order validate system that allows for parallel improvement of the whole network while eliminating uncertainty at the same time. Last but not least, another key factor to high performance will be our state channels, some precious tool crucial to guarantee high interoperability between the two chains. We will use state channels to bind the addresses on both chains in a really innovative way. Maybe we'll make a special episode about it. Now, of course, other than providing an efficient network, we want our blockchain to be as developer-friendly as possible in order to make the metaverse truly accessible to all kinds of businesses. This is why our C-chain will be EVM compatible, so to permit an easy migration for dApps built on Ethereum using Solidity. And on the other hand, the E-chain will work with general programming languages like Java and Go. That means every type of businesses will be able to use the developers that they already have without having to waste any time or money in extra training. Also, the modular architecture of the e-chain would be a great booster for global business adaptation. In fact, the e-chain will allow the deployment of an infinite number of subchains, each with its own purpose, consensus algorithm, and accessibility level. This way, we can really create a network that adapts to all kinds of businesses instead of making the businesses adapt to our network requirements. But wait, there is much more. We really believe that building a powerful and accessible network without providing the tools to fully take advantage of it means only getting half of the job done. That is why we also came out with two amazing 3D graphic tools which will also be deployed on the blockchain. But we'll talk about that in the next episode. And we are at the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching and supporting our project. Please leave below any questions or comments you might have, what you liked about it, and if there's something you'd like to hear more about. Also, remember to follow our channels to stay updated about our projects. You will find all of them linked in the video description. Thank you very much for watching again, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.